Don't look now, but Joe Cool is running right into your living room. Coach Karen's showing us all a few tricks. So cool yourself down as we fly away with these great highlights. Sports Night is next.
I'm loving the end shot of the eagle. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. Hey, and a week without football. It doesn't seem right.
Well, that's okay. They're going to make up for it. This week it's homecoming.
Woohoo!
And an odd or different schedule has them here on Thursday against Andover, and that's going to be a big game.
Oh, huge.
Hoping that a week off, the Cardinals will be able to get some things straightened out, get some guys a little more healthy. But that's going to be a tough test. And then they finish on the road at Cambridge next Friday, and then at St. Cloud the following Wednesday of MEA week.
Talk about a road trip.
Yeah.
We're hiring a bus to take us up there. So.
Well, we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. We'll move on to the tennis team. They started the section tournament today after a strong finish to the regular season. The Cardinals were still winless starting last week, but a pair of victories to close out the schedule let the team breathe a little easier and feel more hopeful going to the postseason. It started on Wednesday with a visit from Big Lake. The Cardinals controlling this one pretty much all down the line. Gabby Newton serving at first singles. This one's not coming back. Newton cruises 6-0, 6-1. Second singles, Brooklyn Nienaber in the near court. Her match is closer, but still ends in straight sets, 6-3, 7-5. Captain Caitlin Caminati playing at third singles against the Hornets, and she too is a winner in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4 on court 3. Ariel Jaspers serving up an ace on this point, but she comes up short at four singles, losing 3-6, 5-7. Cardinals returning serve at first doubles. Zoe Scheck takes care of this point all on her own. Another respectively easy win as Scheck and Lily Newton win 6-0, 6-2. Carly Hafferman and Kenzie Yang in the far court for Coon Rapids in second doubles. Hornets play into the net. The Big Lake duo, though, would slip past Hafferman and Yang 2-6, 4-6. Cardinals already had the match in hand, but check out match point at third doubles. Casey Beck all over the court for the point. She gets her first varsity win. She and Macy Rudy are winners 6-4, 6-3. Cardinals get that first win of the season, 5-2.
It had to feel good, and I know Coach Stork, we talked a couple times during the season. He said, I've never been in this spot before. And for him to go this long in the season before he gets their first win, I think that, that says something to him that, you know what, now we're going to go on, try and go on a little bit of run and get hot at the right time of the year.
Well, they were able to turn it into back-to-back wins when they faced off against Osseo in the crossover match. The Orioles won the regular season meeting 5-2. The Cardinals flipped the script in the rematch. Brooklyn Nienaber up at first singles led the way as the singles teams swept. And then Ruddy and Beck also getting a win at second doubles to give the Cardinals a 5-2 win. They actually took on Anoka this afternoon. We did not get those scores in time, but it's a tough row in this Section 5 tournament. It's a 17-team tournament. Cardinals number 14 seed facing number 11 Anoka, who they lost to by a 4-3 score during the regular season.
Well, let's hope they can turn that one around and win by a 4-3 score.
Well, we will have it all for you next week on Sports Night. And the individual tournament is on the 17th and the 18th.
Well, the volleyball team started last week's play with a road trip to face another struggling Northwest Suburban squad. The Spring Lake Park Panthers also had just 2 wins on the season, so both were trying to find any way to spark some momentum late in the regular season. Only one team would walk away with their 3rd win of the year. Cardinals jumped to an early lead in the first set, and they kept it close throughout. Kate Caliphate finding the seam for a kill right here. Unfortunately, the Panthers settled in, and once they took the lead, they didn't look back. Really strong finish on the left side from Lily Morale. Spring Lake Park, you can see there, nice finish there. Spring Lake Park takes the first 25-20. Similar story in the second. Cardinals defense keeping it close. Early, Carly Hoffman with a big shutdown block on Addison France. All the Panthers can play strong at the net as well. Rita Schmidt with a big stuff in the middle that helps Spring Lake Park take a 2-0 lead with a 25-17 win. Cardinals fighting for their lives in the third. They set up Tatum Shevchuk on the left side here, and it pays off. They were within a point as late as 16-15, but the Panthers' persistence pays off after that. Match point set up France for the big kill. Spring Lake Park sweeps up on their home court, 25-16, the final in the third.
Yeah, there were sparks there where the Cardinals played very well,
Absolutely.
but just too many weapons for the Panthers that time around. On Thursday, a very tough Champlin Park squad was hosting the Cardinals, and they were not very gracious hosts as they dispatched the Cardinals 25-7, 25-18, and 25-10. But then came the weekend. Nothing to lift the spirits like a trip to St. Louis Park.
Absolutely.
For the Invitational, and coming away with 3 wins out of 4 matches. They started with a win over Washburn, one of my favorite teams to see on the losing end of just about anything, my high school rival. Cardinals beating them 25-19, 22-25, and 15-13. Unfortunately, they lost to Jordan in 3 after winning the first one. They lost 15-13 in the third set, but then they finished with a pair of straight set wins over Fridley and Minneapolis South. So great to see that. 3 wins, all of a sudden, a 5-13 record looks a little more respectable.
Well, as this season winds down, you want to try and get on a little bit of a run, get a few wins under your belt, so you go into the sections with a little confidence.
Well, they did not face the host Orioles at the St. Louis Park tournament, so they're going to have them over for a match on Tuesday night. And Howie,
we'll be there.
Then they will finish up the season next week, actually. They host Armstrong next Tuesday, and they will be at Andover next Thursday. Swimming and diving, one event, road trip to Rogers. And despite the score, Doug Donaldson said he was really happy with the way his team performed. He said a lot of girls getting season best or personal records, and it shows that they're really moving in the right direction. 200 medley relay team took first place to start the night. Michaela D'Souza had a first place finish in the 50 free, and then second place was the best the Cardinals could get, but they got it often. Smith Jeanette second off the diving board. Lewis was second in the 500 free. Defoe was second in the 100 backstroke, and Pickett was second in the 100 backstroke. So they only have a couple of things left, too.
Right.
They're at Centennial tomorrow and at Andover next Thursday. And I think they have maybe one more event, and then they'll have their little bit of a break before the section meet. Well, the biggest races of the year are right around the corner for the cross-country teams. And last week, their final tune-up, real tune-up of the season. The Osseo invite included 20 teams on the boys' side, 17 on the girls', over 135 athletes in each race. That's the kind of pack, the kind of competition these young Cardinals need to be ready for at conference and section meets. And they showed they're up to any challenge. The event on Thursday afternoon drew a lot of traffic to Elm Creek Park Reserve. And there you see the Cardinals contingent ready at the starting line, and they held together for much of the course. The faster girls trying to help the younger or slower girls keep up front. Ruby Demmer is the card top finisher, taking 13th in 20:32.8. Stella Bone not far behind. She took 24th. Ella Legree is the next to the finish line, 22:04.5. That's 47th place. Kayla Bierman with a strong push at the end takes 61st. And Lily McKenzie finishes 71st as the Cardinals take 8th place as a team. Boys team hoping to have similar success in a very talented field. Captain Peyton Martinick showing he's ready for the season's biggest meets as he hung with the leaders from the start to the finish. He just misses breaking 17 minutes, but gets a top 10 finish with 9th place overall. Aaron Casey about 30 seconds behind him. Can't make the last second pass, but 22nd, very respectable. Kel Nordquist is next, finishing 50th in just over 18 minutes. Nehemiah Q and Albie Ludwig take 86th and 92nd, respectively. That put the Cardinals in 10th place out of 20 teams. And much like Coach Donaldson's report, a lot of personal bests, a lot of season bests in that meet, and Coach Green was positively glowing on his blog about how well he felt they did and how that finish is as both teams finish top 10 in a big event.
And you watch it in a lot of that video, guys making a quick little push right as they get to the finish line to try and take that one extra spot. And you saw it once against the Cardinals and once for the Cardinals. It's just a little extra burst.
Yeah, they've got a really fun event going on tonight, the Cardinal Cup Hoka 1 2-mile time trial. It happens at the stadium under the lights. They're running on a track, which is different, obviously, but under the lights is something that cross country never does.
No,
so it's kind of a
great.
cool event.
I like it.
And a nice time trial. They've got a couple of more fun races coming up over the next couple weeks as they get ready for the section tournament. But Northwest Suburban Conference Championships are next Wednesday. Big event. They've got pretty much this week off from actual events, but next week is a big one.
This starts up.
Then a couple of smaller fun events before sections. Boys soccer team on the road last Tuesday at Spring Lake Park. Everybody from Coon Rapids was down at Spring Lake Park on Tuesday night. Volleyball, soccer. It was not a great trip for the soccer teams. Unfortunately, the boys lost to the Panthers by a 5-0 score. Luke Rising making 15 saves in the loss.
Well, the Cardinals were back at home on home turf on Thursday and facing a very beatable opponent. The Rogers Royals had won only one on the season, had lost 7 straight. Like the Cardinals, Rogers struggled to score. They only have more than 1 goal in 2 games all year. Similar teams with similar struggles, both needing something positive to happen. The Cardinals come out on the attack in the first half. Gavin Stevenson, with a great patience on the wing, sets up his pass and finds Yaya Sidibe out front. Redirect is just wide. Stevenson on the run again. He's fouled. Ball goes in, but it's waved off because of the foul. So you're going to see there. And the foul had already been called, so they waved it off. We're going to see the penalty kick come up for Stevenson. Rogers keeper Tyler Easterberg dives, punches it away, and keeps the game scoreless at the half. Sidibe on the run down the wing. He's able to get to the corner, but can't get off a shot, and Easterberg is able to smother it up. We're going to go midway through the second. Rogers can get a spark. Great individual play by Esteban Cadenas, even for me to say, cutting across the box and firing left-footed shot past Rising to get the Royals on the board. Well, the Cardinals, they're going to answer late in the game, though. Going to come off a throw-in. You can see it here. Stevenson chips it in deep. Sidibe gets it, doesn't miss this time, and the Cardinals' leading goal scorer gets them back to even at 1-1. They do get one more chance. It's Sidibe again, finding enough room to get off a strong shot, but again it's Easterberg with a diving save. So you're going to see coming up here, and this one would end in a draw. Final would be 1-1.
Yeah, it's better than a loss.
Yeah.
It's better than a loss.
It's definitely better than a loss.
That was one, late in the season that they really were hoping they could capture. This is the final week of the regular season for both soccer teams. They host Elk River on Tuesday and at Maple Grove on Thursday. Girls soccer team also started the week down at Spring Lake Park. Their trip also not very cordial on behalf of their hosts from Spring Lake Park. A 9-0 loss, dropping the Cardinals to 1-11 on the season. The schedule didn't get any easier for the Cardinals on Thursday when they welcomed Rogers to the complex. The Royals opened the season with 4 straight wins, and even though they lost 3 straight, they were still a couple games over 500. It would be another tough challenge for this Cardinals squad. Rogers takes control early. Good pass ahead to get Abby Elmquist on a great angle. First shot is stopped, but Elmquist follows up with the rebound, gives the Royals a 1-0 lead in the first. They add to it in the second off the throw-in, set up for the long shot by Lily Perkins. It's stopped up by a defender, but it goes right to Lauren Carroll. She jumps on it, chips it over the top, gives Rogers a little breathing room, and they keep the pressure on. Natalia Sheeran able to find herself some room in the middle. Reiners makes the save, but can't get to the rebound. Carroll leaves it for Greta Chimura. She puts it into a wide open net to complete the scoring. Royals blanked the Cardinals 3-0.
Yeah, a couple tough loss for the girls and a tie for the guys. And as you mentioned, the guys were hoping that they would get that win. As it gets later in the season, they want to get a chance to get on that winning path a little bit.
Yeah, and also for the girls, a very tough schedule this week, hosting Elk River on Tuesday and at Maple Grove on Thursday. Always a fun schedule for us here at CTN. We're going to be at the volleyball game against the Spring Lake Park Orioles. Over-under for how many times Spring Lake Park is mentioned is set at 71.5.
Oh, it's going to get that half in. Because the money line will get on the half.
Right. Football team back in action on Thursday, homecoming against Andover. That should be a really fun game. And then we'll see the volleyball team again next Tuesday as they host the Armstrong Falcons. But that's going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.